Hello everyone and welcome to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your dungeon barkeep today. Now, I am no expert mixologist, but I am tending bar here at the Capstan Bar, so I must have an adventurous spirit, and I tell you what, I am willing to try anything once. So, since there's nothing on the menu, what do you say? Let's just roll some dice and see what fate decides to put in our glasses today. And I'll make you a deal. I'll try it first, and if it's any good, you can make one yourself. How's that sound? Deal. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to roll a d6 to pick our first mixer. All right, we got a 6. That's the top of the die, so we're going to roll it twice. High numbers explode today. So let's go ahead and get 2 more 6s. 5 and 1, so 1 is tonic, and 5 is seltzer water. How boring. Okay, so hopefully we'll get something really weird to offset that, or who knows, maybe I'll make a palatable cocktail. Wouldn't that just be a trip? Boring. Who wants to watch that? All right, so now, we're going to go ahead and pick some liquors to go into this one, and the way we're doing that with this rack of liquor behind me, normally I only have 10 choices. Now I've got tens of choices. So what we're going to do is roll a d10 to choose our row and a d6 to choose how far back in the row we're going. So let's go ahead and roll that d10 and that d6. 2 and 5, so we're here. Sweet Revenge Liqueur. Wild Strawberry Sour Mash. All right.
With a name like that, it's got to be good.
Yeah, with a name like that, it's got to be good. That's absolutely true. Wild Strawberry and Sour. Well, we'll see what that even means. Now we got to pick another one. So I'm going to roll another d10 and another d6. Let's see what we've got. 5 and 3, so 5, 3. We're back on the gin train, friends. New Amsterdam Stratosphere gin. Ooh. All right, so we've got strawberry sour mash liqueur thing, some gin, tonic, and seltzer. Let's see if I can turn that into something tasty on the bar top cam. All right. Both tonic and seltzer. Yeah, you're right, Quilting Dancer. That sounds like a thing. Really, you don't like tonic by itself. I can drink tonic by itself all day long. Juliet Hart says that now you've got a drink for Lich's Fruit Soup, which is absolutely true. Dear friend of the channel, The Liching Hour, whose show I appear on every other Thursday, Swashbucklers. He also does a show called Fruit Soup, which is a participatory show where you get to like play Jackbox games with them as they live stream. It's really fun. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff on that channel. Check it out. The Liching Hour on Twitch. They stream way more often than I do, which is to say more than once a month. So let's put this thing together. With 2 kinds of carbonated beverage, I'm not going to shake this one. So we'll put this one in a mixing tin. There we go. We're going to start with the Sweet Revenge. So it is strawberry forward. Let's go ahead and give it a fighting chance against that gin with equal measures of each. So we'll do 1 ounce of the Sweet Revenge and 1 ounce of gin. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and measure 2 ounces of seltzer. And 2 ounces of tonic. All right. So there's that. I suspect heavily that this is going to need some help. So what I would like to do, and by like to, I mean I am going to because it's my show and I said so. I'm going to give it a couple dashes of bitters. And I think that this is going to want an olive. So I'm going to make the executive decision to garnish this with olives. I'll choose a pick with an owl for wisdom because God knows I need that. All right. So we'll prep that garnish ahead and set it off to the side. All right. So the last thing to do is put some ice in this shaker, which I am using as a mixing tin, and stir. We'll strain this into a low martini glass. This is another very light colored beverage. So the last thing we need to do is put a name to this thing. So let's go ahead and roll a d20 to pick a name off of our chart. An 11. 11 on the names chart is Mermaid Lagoon. Well, that's properly nautical for the setting. I don't know how appropriate it's going to be to the flavor of this thing, but here we are, the Mermaid Lagoon. And if you want to suggest your own names to go on this list, head on over to indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep, where you can add your own names as well as check out the form to add your home bar to our magical tour. I don't have to come to your actual house. I'll just be in your bar. Isn't that magical? Portals, friends. Portals. As well as past recipes and all sorts of other cool stuff at indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep. So now we'll give it a taste.
What did you do?
I don't know what I did. You know how sometimes you go to a bar and you order the like special martini that they make, and then you wonder why? This will do that for you. This is that sort of drink. It is the sort of thing that a crafty mixologist might have done on purpose. Like the balance is there, but the flavor makes no sense. The strawberry is definitely present from that Sweet Revenge. The gin and tonicness is there. The seltzer is kind of muting everything. And I think that's part of why it feels balanced, where otherwise it might not have. I don't know. I could see someone selling this as a strawberry gin and tonic. But you'd get it and you wouldn't order it again. Let me put it to you that way. It's drinkable, but it's not good. And the olives didn't do anything for it. I don't know what I expected. But it does look classy, so that's something. It's not much, but it's something. So the question comes back to, where does this drink, the Mermaid's Lagoon, fit into a gaming context? What kind of adventure do we put the Mermaid's Lagoon in? And I think the easiest answer, based upon the name, is a place that hasn't got mermaids or a lagoon. Because this is clearly something made by someone who very much longed for something but did not have access to it. So perhaps this is okay. This makes me think of a boring bar, one of those places where somebody tried to get clever with their gin and tonic, and all they did was add strawberry flavor to it, and it's ill-advised. Because, like I said, you could drink it, but you wouldn't order a second one. It makes me think of like big chain restaurants that I won't name in case they want to advertise around me. And I feel like the gaming equivalency of that is like a boring human town in like the flatlands out of nowhere. You know, this is the sort of place that the adventure took you because you had to do overland movement, and your party had run out of rations, and your DM was like, okay, fine, we'll stop in a town just so you can buy rations and stuff. And you stop in this boring human town in the middle of nowhere, and the person behind the bar at the tavern is trying to be clever, and they give you this. I feel like that is where this belongs in an adventure capacity. And to be honest with you, every adventure should have one of those sorts of towns in their back pocket, if only so that something really weird can happen in the town to spice everything up. Something like, you know, a monster that, I don't remember the name of it, but there is a monster in the D&D canon. It kills people, and then when you die, everyone loses the ability to remember you. And so if your party comes back to that town later, an NPC that they ran into can be completely gone, and no one in the town will remember that they ever existed. And if it's a town you pass through a bunch of times, eventually the PCs will figure out that something's hinky, which I think is a great monster concept if it's a town that otherwise is just like a pass-through flyover sort of location. If you're yelling at your screen right now, don't worry. I now know that what I was referring to is The False Hydra by Arnold K. This is a homebrew monster, and I will put a link to the original posting for it in the doobly-doo. Special thanks to Malkith Soldier for calling me out later. Don't worry, I'm leaving that in too. That's also a great place to have, like, werewolves or jackal-wares or, you know, other shape-changey monsters that, you know, are great for menacing small, boring human towns. So it's good to have a small, boring human town available to you, and why not have them serve boring cocktails at a boring human tavern? So I think that's where the Mermaid Lagoon goes. It belongs in a town that is so far from the sea that they just wish that there were mermaids around, but wouldn't know what to do with them if they had them. That's what I'm going to go with. Let's see, what is our chat, our live chat from the live taping on Twitch. Check out the next Dungeon Barkeep Cocktail-a-thon. Next dates will be available at Indecisionist.com on the main page. Let's see. 2OG Christopher says, ahoy. Ahoy indeed! Look at my nautical bar! I'm at the Capstan Bar in Racine, owned by my dear friend Dean. Okay. 2OG Christopher suggested a mimic colony, and that's a great idea. And of course they have pickled eggs and pig knuckles at this bar. I can't imagine a boring human bar in a boring human town without pickled eggs and pig knuckles, just like in a jar, a gross jar on the bar top. And let's see, Malkith Soldier says it's a homebrew, but the description of the monster makes me think of the False Hydra. Oh. You might be right.
He was.
It might be a homebrew monster that I'm thinking.
It is.
Because that does sound right. False Hydra.
It is right.
I may have some text disclaimer over that bit of the video. It's like, actually. I love to actually myself whenever I get the opportunity. As for the Mermaid Lagoon, I mean, I guess try it if you want. Yeah, get yourself a pickle. And until next time, drink adventurously, friends. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not good.